Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, Capital Markets Analyst and host of your Cannabis Business Podcast. Today, we're going to take a look at a report from Hedge to try and understand consumer behavior by looking at the vape market in California as well as the edible market in Washington. So during August, we could see that millennials were a majority of the market in California. More specifically, millennial males contributed the most with 37.5% of the market share, also implying that 62.5% of the market are not millennial males, which can be a lot of market share to consider when planning promotions. Looking at California wallet share by generation, you can see that different generations of cannabis consumers spend their cannabis wallets very differently. In general, inhalable products tend to be more popular with younger age groups, while older age groups tend to prefer non-inhalables. Baby boomers are the exception with the highest wallet share for flower. Flower has always been the largest category by sales volume in recent years. However, the Gen Z age group preferences for vape pens may soon outpace flower as the top selling category in California. So this graph compares the August 2020 market share sales of each demographic group to its corresponding market share within the vape pen category in the same time frame. So the indices in orange, they show the relative difference between these two values. If the index is over 100, then the consumer group buys relatively more vape pens than average. So millennial males are the largest spending demographic group, but this group is also slightly under indexing in the vape pen category. Millennial females, conversely, they're slightly over-indexed in the category. And interesting, females have a higher index towards vape pen shares than males in every age group except the silent generation. So now we're going to take a look at the demographic share of the top 5 selling California vape pen brands in August. The most notable difference between the brands is that Gen Z and millennial age groups contribute an enormous portion of sales to the top 2 brands being Stizzy and Raw Gardens. And because millennials drive the majority of vape pen sales and Gen Z, they have the strongest over-index of any age group to vapes. So vape pen brands targeting these groups, they could potentially see strong sales. While Heavily Hitters and ABX, they rank 3rd and 4th respectively under index to Gen Z and millennials, they're still successful brands in California market and have a strong over-index to both Gen X and baby boomers, showing that within a category, there are brands that resonate best with different types of consumers. So switching gears and looking at Washington, we can see that female consumers contribute to the minority of sales in each category, but there's significant variation in the ratio of male to female sales across categories. So for example, males over-index to concentrates and flower, while females over-index to tinctures, topicals, pre-rolls, edibles, and capsules. Beverage and vapes are close to the total market averages, which means they're equally attractive to both male and female groups. So cannabis market share by gender in Washington, you have females contributed to a higher portion of sales in Washington than in California, with 35% in Washington versus 31.5% in California. Females in Washington have a strong over-index to edibles. So when looking at how generational groups consume edibles, you can see millennials are the highest contributing consumer to the market, totaling 49% of all cannabis sales in August of 2020. So older generations are also a bigger part of the Washington market than the California market, with 14% of August sales in Washington going to baby boomers and the silent generation versus just 11.9% of sales in California. While millennials and Zoomers contribute the most, at around 50% of edible sales, they also under-index to edibles. Looking at total edible Washington market share, you can see the top 10 edible brands in Washington for August of 2020. The dark purple bars, it shows the market share within the edible category, while the light purple bars show the wallet share among baby boomers and edible purchases. So we can see if the average Washington retailer wanted to dive in more about baby boomers to their stores, promoting edibles might be a good decision since baby boomers disproportionately contribute more of their wallet share to the edibles category. However, promoting certain edible brands over others may also make a significant difference since certain edible brands attract relatively more revenue from baby boomers than other age groups. So while there were many broad trends in the vape pen and edible categories in Washington and California, the report shows that there's a significant variation and nuance when exploring consumer data more specifically. With that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't, and I'm out. Don't forget to smash that like button on your way out and check out these other videos that we've got.